Well, good morning. As you can see through that, it is a beautiful day outside here in Vancouver. A little foggy on the side window. It's beautiful. Window's a little frosty on the outside. And then there's the front window. Well, let me just scrape the frozen front window away. Yeah, you got it. It is frosty on the inside. The plan for the day, besides staying warm, is I have a meeting with my friend Dan. We've been chatting back and forth because the company that he works for, he wants to start doing a little bit more focus on their YouTube channel, like doing like product tutorial stuff. And you know, they're in a really cool industry. They're in the paint industry, so they do a lot of cool things. You know what I mean? They're at a lot of like car shows and a lot of famous painters they deal with. So the whole idea behind it seems super cool to me. But we don't know how edgy we can go on it. As much as we'd like to go edgy, we still got to deal with like the boss. So I'm going to meet the boss today. Hopefully that'll be pretty sweet. And we'll find out what's going on. You ready to go, bud? Ready to start this day? It's a party animal over here. Wakes up in the morning, crawls in the front seat, and goes back to bed. True disco style. All right, let's get this day started. What's up, man? What's happening? How you doing? All right, this went way different than what I was expecting it to go. My buddy is just a rad dude, and he was just cool with making things like trendy and funky on the edge. And his boss, you know, agreed to start doing the YouTube stuff, but we also kind of had to like bring it to him that we're gonna try to keep things like on the edge and funky, like little mini movie vlog style, but yet keeping it business-like. And you know, as you could tell by the montage of videos, they got some cool stuff. They're in the paint business, so they do some really funky, cool things. And when I met the boss today, that's when things happened that I didn't expect. He was just a super cool dude, and he was down for making it like vlog style and edgy. And I'm pretty excited about this project. So what's gonna happen with them now is we're gonna do an intro video for their YouTube channel, just kind of like welcome them to their channel and what they do. And then we're gonna go from there. And we decided the plan is we're gonna film, you know, 4, 5, or 6 videos all in a row on one day, and then I'm gonna go edit them. So that should be a pretty decent paycheck for me. It won't be a lot. I gave him a good deal, but I'm pretty excited about this. So, what happened to my whole day? Not a whole lot. After my meeting this morning, I pretty much pulled over and had myself like a 2-hour long just golden nap. It was so awesome. Then I started to edit a video, which was a really long video. And then I didn't like the video, so I deleted the video. Needless to say, today's been kind of a bit of a write-off. And sometimes you just have, you hear that squeaking? It's my door. Sometimes you just have those days, you know, the days that just, you need a break. You need a breather. So I figured that we're just gonna kick back, put my feet up, and we're just gonna chill and have a little bit of a chit chat. What do you say, Disco? Just wanna sit, hang out, and chat? Alright, let's do that. Get some better lighting in here. See, these are things you guys don't see. You don't see the times that I spend in here adjusting things and making sure like the shot has to look good. And if things don't look good, I just like adding a bit of color to things always makes things look good. All right. All right, I think we're ready. Put my little pop light. If you guys are interested in these, check them out. They're in my description. So let's pop. Boom! Now we got some color. Woohoo! I'm gonna drop this down a little bit. I gotta stop being a little bit of a perfectionist. There we go. Now I feel a little bit more engaged with you. All right. That's me and you, have never had the chance to actually sit down and just talk about whatever. Today seems like one of those kind of days. This is Disco's little monkey. He grabs onto his little monkey just like this and he sucks on his head literally every day. When it comes time to go to bed, it's like his little snuggle bear. He grabs it and he sucks on it. Funny thing is, my other bulldog, the one my ex-wife got in the divorce, cute puppy. And anyway, I guess he passed away last year or the year before, I think. And he had a monkey much like this and did the same thing. Here you go, buddy. Here you go, buddy. Watch this. That's my boy. He loves his little monkey. All right, so because we haven't really had the time to kind of sit down and have a face-to-face, you know, some times where we can just chat about whatever. And I think I might start doing that in these videos a little more often, so we can just have a day where it's not like so edited or so nothing, where we can just kind of chit chat and give you guys a chance to know me. Maybe we'll throw a little Q&A in these videos, which I think is a great idea because this, you know, I mean, I shouldn't say that because on my channel lately, there hasn't been a lot of questions. There's been so much love, just not a lot of questions about van life. So I kind of don't know what's going on with the channel. You guys have been like, just, I love you, Chrome, I love Disco, you guys are awesome. There's been lots of that stuff, but seriously guys, if there's any questions at all, blast it down below And I think we'll make one of these videos, because for me to bust out a video like this once a week where it's just like chatting and, you know, answering questions and just kind of like giving you a chance to get to know me, and then when you blast the comments, gives me a chance to get to know all of you. What do you think? Hey, it's a good idea. So let's start with that one today, but first, I don't want my coffee to get cold. He is absolutely just the sweetest thing in history. He's so cute. And since you guys love Disco so much, let's make him the topic of this story. Disco I've had since he was like just a little pup. Okay, he wasn't like a little pup. He was like a friggin' little sausage. But I've had him since he was like super little. Shortly after I got Disco, I think Disco was about a year and some old, the breeder messaged me because she had the sweetest little girl, just the cutest little puppy. And the breeder wanted to keep this puppy because she came from like a 5-time champion mom, for future breeding. The breeder didn't want to keep any animals anymore for herself. So because she knows I'm a single guy and she figured, you know what, I could use a little bit of female companionship, she offered to give me this sweet, cute little girl as, you know, for free, as long as the breeder was allowed to breed her when the time came to it. So I took little Maggie, the breeder's daughter's actually named the dog. I took little Maggie, and Disco had his little best friend. I'll try to track some pictures down and blast them in right here. But Disco had this sweet, she was like literally the most adorable puppy ever. I was thinking about actually enrolling her into therapy dog training, because she was just like, she never jumped up, she never nothing. She wanted something, she sat down and just looked at you. She was like literally a bundle of love. Disco used to love the crap out of her. And funny story, Disco used to hump her so much, like, because bulldogs, I don't know if you didn't know this, but bulldogs can't have sex. They don't have the mobility to actually do it. They're like, Disco can't even lick his own butt. You get it? He's just whatever. I'm not going into those details. So little Maggie, sometimes when Disco was passed out sleeping, Maggie would like climb up on his head and just hump his head while he slept. It was so funny. Yeah. Anyway, we lost Maggie 2 summers ago. And this little boy right here, he wasn't the same for like 6 months. I even caught him a few times when I came home from work and stuff like that, sitting on my bed with his head on my headboard. And I had a picture of Maggie on my headboard with her dog collar around the picture. And I'd come home sometimes and he'd just sit there with his head looking at the picture. Just heartbreaking. That's the first time in my life I knew and understood that dogs get it. They feel it, they know exactly what's going on. And anyway, little Maggie passed away because of a pregnancy problem. She got pregnant, and yeah, the day before her C-section surgery, she passed away that night. She had to make it through one more night. Her surgery was in the morning. She didn't make it. So poor little Disco lost his little best friend, and honestly, that little pup changed mine and Disco's life in a very, very big way. He's still sucking on his monkey. Look at, he's so cute. He falls asleep with a monkey in his mouth. You have no idea, guys, how adorable he is. Hold on, let me prop the phone back up. So, there are times when I really wish we would have still had Maggie. I think I would have started van life still if I had them both. They were just so good together. All right, anyway, the story about Disco. When I got Disco as a pup, I actually went out and seen him when he was a week old. The guy literally looked like nothing. He was like about that big at a week old. He was like pretty big, like it was like a freaking sausage. Then I went out and seen him again, and then again and again. I've probably seen him 5 or 6 times, so I got to watch him from the time he couldn't open his eyes up to the time he could barely even walk, to walk over and see me, and he was just a perfect match. And how I got Disco, this is a really cute story. Me and my ex-wife, when me and her were together, that was like 5 years ago. Well, actually longer than that now. That's probably 7, 8, 9 years ago now. I don't even remember. Her and I had an English bulldog together that we got from the same breeder. So after me and the ex-wife split up, you know, it was about a year later, so well, maybe 2 years later, I messaged the breeder and said, hey, look, I really want a dog. And she's like, funny you say that. She's like, I have my very last litter from the dog that your other dog came from. So it was awesome. I kind of got my dog's brother, I guess, from another litter. Not a brother from another mother, but a brother from another litter. Kind of the same thing in a dog world, I guess. And it was just, actually it was more like a brother from another father. Oh, mic drop on that one. And yeah, that's how Disco came into my world, and he's been like a little homeboy ever since.